Hey everyone, and welcome to This Pop Culture Peach. I'm Robin, and featured this week are two celebrity feuds with cast members from Real Housewives of Atlanta and the Fast and Furious franchise. So, also featured this week is a discussion on the Miley evolution we've been seeing, and in light of her week on The Tonight Show ending, I want to talk about her because she's a pretty amazing person. But also, I need to bring up a little debate that I was having with some of my roommates. And this is all about Idris Elba. He was on the cover of my Entertainment Weekly this week, and I was asking them, isn't he, so attractive? He's a very good-looking man. None of them agreed with me. I think he's very attractive. I think several other people do, and so does my mom. And I think he's a gorgeous man, so I want y'all's opinions on it. Let me know what you think. But moving on, we'll go ahead and get into some news before we cover the features. So this past week, some sad news. Tom Petty passed away. It happened last Monday, and during the show I was looking up updates because people were saying that he had passed and then other people were saying that he hadn't yet, but that it was a false report, so there was a lot of going back and forth, but he did end up passing away, so that's really sad. Foo Fighters, there was an article that came out saying that the Foo Fighters were commenting on being on Carpool Karaoke with James Corden. Of course, James Corden has his show, and he has a segment called Carpool Karaoke where he invites celebrities to come in and they sing along and talk. And it's so fun to watch, but apparently being on it can get a little bit awkward. Basically, they were saying that it was fun, but after a little while, it just kind of lost, its excitement, and they felt awkward. And they said also, it's different getting up on a stage and performing our songs, but sitting with a small group of people, it's very uncomfortable. So I thought that was an interesting article. The Weeknd gets his own comic book. So apparently this has actually been happening with a lot of celebrities like Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, where comic book companies are coming to them and saying hey, you're a really cool, dope guy, as the article said. We want to have a comic book with you. So it came out and it's called Starboy, so you can go check that out. Really good news. Last week we were talking about the hashtag #PuberMe challenge that Colbert and Nick Kroll were asking people to post puberty photos, so photos of them when they were 13, and for everyone that they did, Colbert was going to donate money to Puerto Rico, and because of the whole hurricane situation, and Nick Kroll was going to match it. Well, Colbert announced that he gave a $1 million donation in Puerto Rico, so that's pretty exciting. There was a sketch on SNL this past week. Gal Gadot hosted with musical guest Sam Smith. It was a great episode. Very funny. Go check it out. It's on Hulu. But they had this one sketch about the Safe Flight Auto Glass people. And I'm sure you guys have all seen the commercials where they're like, Safe Flight, that whole little jingle. And they go and they're saying, we can meet you anywhere. And they come and they're like, are you going to the zoo? Well, your day doesn't have to be ruined. We'll fix your windshield on your car if it's broken. Well, they had a sketch, and basically it went a little too far, as the Safe Flight Auto Glass people said. So I don't want to tell you guys too much about it because I want you guys to go and let me know what you think and make your own decision on if you thought it went too far. I personally didn't. It's SNL. That's what they do. I thought it was hilarious. So you guys go check that out. I also saw an article that recently came out where Tina Fey's daughter was talking about that she loves Parks and Rec but thinks 30 Rock is too weird. And that's hilarious to me because I've obviously watched all The Office and Parks and Rec, love them. I tried watching 30 Rock and I love Tina Fey. But 30 Rock is just, I had a very hard time getting into it. And every once in a while it would make me giggle, but for the most part, it just wasn't for me. So I think it's funny that her daughter felt the same way. And then last in the news, I just want to talk about the fact that Blade Runner 2049, we talked about it last week and how it's highly anticipated and this really cool movie and how Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford had these great interviews from it. Well, apparently it flopped in the box office. It didn't make nearly enough it's about a third of how much they actually spent on the movie. So that's disappointing, but I hope for their sakes that it gets a little bit better and that hopefully more people will go view it. Maybe they'll be able to actually make some money off of it. So before we get into our 3 featured stories this week, I just want to talk about what I've been loving in pop culture. I started a new show. It's not new. It's new for me, called The Good Place. It's on Netflix. And it stars Kristen Bell, of course. Love her. And it's about, she dies and she goes to the good place. And just about that, it's like a 30-minute little comedy. It's very good. I have loved it. It's so bright and fun. There's not a lot of dark things about it. It's an easy watch, and it's so awesome. And if you love Kristen Bell, which I think most people do, you'll love the show. And then my other thing that I just loved this week was Sam Smith on SNL. His new song, Pray, is so good. And not just that, but his performance on SNL. I've never, really heard him live, I don't think, or maybe I did a while back, but it brought tears to my eyes, honestly, when he was singing Pray. He is just such a good performer. His voice is amazing. It's awesome. So, The Good Place and Sam Smith on SNL, that's what I'm loving this week, so y'all should go check it out. So moving on to the featured stories, the first thing I want to talk about is the feud from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. The show hasn't even started yet. It premieres November 5th, of course. But Kim and Nene, already getting in it. Of course, Nene Leakes is coming back to The Real Housewives this season as an actual Real Housewife. And Kim is coming back as more than a friend, but less than an actual Real Housewife. And part of that is actually Nene Leakes came out and said that she didn't want to be on a show with her and was saying that if she was, she better make more than Kim and all this stuff. And everybody knows Kim and Nene they started out as best friends and then they hate each other and it's really bad. And then they'll be best friends for a hot second and then it goes bad again. It's always back and forth. And it's happening again. So basically what happened was a post from Nene is how this all got brought up. And it was on her Instagram, and it was a picture of herself, and she said, quote, "On the way back to the A, I fell asleep thinking about how I'ma live in a roach-infested brand new home." And then she also shared a whole bunch of hashtags, which are hilarious, so you should go check out her Instagram and see all of them. But she was referencing a Snapchat video that apparently Brielle Bierman, Kim Zolciak's daughter, had posted. And I saw the video, and basically she's saying, something about, how so fancy having to look at, my reflection in the cabinets, because there were no mirrors, but the cabinets were made of mirrors. So she was squatted down and taking a picture. Well, in the middle of a picture, you can see that there's a roach there. And she apparently posted that. And then, Kim had posted a screenshot of an Instagram message that she had, and you can go look at that Instagram message, but she wrote this on her Instagram. First off, that video is a combination of two videos, so pause for a second. There was a second video that she put of recording the corners of that bathroom, and there were several more bugs. So apparently, that's what Kim is referencing when she talks about this. So first off, that video is a combination of two videos. I combined them. Brielle posted the first video on Snap, unaware of the large bug in front of her when she was kneeling down, until her DMs blew up. She removed that video immediately. I was filming as an invited guest at Nene Leakes for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Brielle was invited as well. Brielle went to the bathroom and saw several bugs and had sent me the video on Snap and no one else. We are filming a show, remember that. Real Housewives of Atlanta and Nene released this video herself. No one has ever seen this video but Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nobody would ever have seen this video. Nene has said and done some things that are absolutely disgusting. However, I will take the high road as you will see it on the show soon enough. But you will not make it seem as though my daughter did anything wrong. She never posted this video, nor would she. As you see here, I myself was not willing to send the video just for ratings for Real Housewives of Atlanta. End of story. So, basically, Brielle took the video and she posted it, the first one, of her kneeling down in front of the mirror. But once she posted it, people were like, "Oh, what's that bug?" She freaked out and deleted it. But she sent it to her mom, and then she recorded the other video of the bugs and sent it to her mom. And somehow, other people got a hold of it and posted it. Kim is saying she didn't do it, but of course, Kenya Moore, she always does, has to get involved. And so she posted a picture on her Instagram, reposting what Nene had posted and said, "I totally agree with you about that devil." And continued to put a whole bunch of hashtags, hashtag she's a bad person, hashtag liar, on and on and on. You can check it out. So there's already feuds going on, and Kim posted more on her Instagram, and of course you can go look. Nene actually added Brielle Bierman and said, "We don't have roaches. If you found one, you brought it with you," or ... I'm not going to read the rest because it's horrendous, and I don't want to get into it, but you can of course go read it. So the feuds are already beginning. Of course, for me, it makes me a little bit excited because I love Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm excited about it. But this kind of back and forth, this isn't really fun. This is kind of getting a little ridiculous. I know that Kim's getting upset about, her bringing her child into it, but honestly, I think Brielle brings herself into it. She's not a child anymore. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see what kind of things show up on the show from this incident. I'm excited to see if any of it shows up. Of course, Kim said that it won't because she wouldn't send them the video, but again, how did it get posted? So, I don't know. But moving on, before we get into the next feud as our last featured story, I want to talk about Miley, just kind of split up the feuds a little bit. So, she, of course, was all week on Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. It was Miley week, and before I didn't really like when they did that, but I like it now because I feel like she's finally herself again, and I know that that weird phase she went through, she was saying she's being herself. But even now she comes out and says that all that was her trying to find herself, and now she's really herself. She also says that she feels younger now than she's ever been, and that's why she titled her album Younger Now, and also has a song on it called Younger Now. And I 100% agree. She seems so much more laid back and not trying too hard. And I don't know. It's just, you gotta go look at the videos. She killed it in the lip sync battle with Jimmy Fallon. It was awesome. She killed it. I was so proud of her. But she seems like the most true form of herself than I've ever seen her be. Her first night there, she performed No Freedom with Adam Sandler. This was in response to what happened in Las Vegas earlier that morning. Then the next night she performed The Climb, which was awesome. It's been like 5 or 6 years, I think she said, since she's performed that song. So that was really awesome. And the best version of that song I've ever heard. She did so good. And then one of the other nights of the week, she covered a Tom Petty song with her dad, which is really cool. And then, one of the nights, I think it was Wednesday, Hillary Clinton was on there, and Jimmy Fallon had all the women writers of The Tonight Show come out and write thank you notes to Hillary Clinton. And they were sincere, and in the very end would have a joke. Well, the very last person to go was Miley, and Miley wrote a thank you note to her and started crying halfway through, and none of it was a joke. It was very serious and very touching, and they had a very touching moment. So it was just really cool getting to see a very sincere form of Miley. I don't think I've ever gotten to see that in hardly anyone as a celebrity, but I felt like she was being super sincere the entire week. It's fun watching Jimmy Fallon have that kind of relationship with her and just the friendship that they have, kind of like how he has a really good relationship with Demi Lovato. So that was just really cool. And then, of course, he ended the night by giving her the head of hashtag, which is, of course, the panda bear that comes out and does this crazy dance, and Miley always will get in that and do the crazy dance. So that was really exciting to see. And I was a little bit jealous. I'm jealous of anybody who gets to be best friends with Jimmy Fallon. But also because she got the hashtag head, and I've always claimed that I think I'd be the best hashtag because of how spastic I am. I think I would do it justice. But, maybe one day I'll get to actually try it. So moving on to our last featured story of the evening. Tyrese Gibson and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They're getting into it. So, of course, y'all know, during the final week of filming, this was a while back, of Fast 8, I think it was called, the most recent movie. Dwayne had sent out this thing on Instagram, and he said, some conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals, while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken crap to do anything about it anyway. Candy butts, trying to keep it clean. He wrote, when you watch this movie next April and it seems like I'm not acting in some of these scenes and my blood is legit boiling, you're right. So of course everybody took that as he's mad at one of the male castmates, and everybody assumed it was Vin Diesel, and then later he was interviewed about it again, Johnson was, and stood by it and was just saying, that he apparently had a problem with them whenever he seems like he's really mad in the movie, that it was real, he wasn't having to act. So that happened. Fast forward to last Wednesday, Tyrese Gibson posted a picture and wrote, congratulations to at The Rock and your brother-in-law, aka $7 producing partner, at Hiram Garcia, for making the Fast and Furious franchise about you. And like you, DJ Dwayne Johnson, even if they call, I will not be deleting this post. Good night, folks. See you in 2020 April, hashtag Fast Family, right? Nah, it's about hashtag Team Dwayne. Hashtag 3 years, will it be worth the wait? Hashtag no Shaw, just Hobbs will this be another hashtag Baywatch? Guys, just relax. I'm just a passionate film critic. So let's just kind of take that whole thing apart, because he said a lot there. So he was saying congratulations to Dwayne and his brother-in-law for the aka $7. So $7 is $7 Productions, which works on films like Jungle Cruise, Rampage, and the Jumanji sequel coming up. Well, Johnson co-founded that with his brother-in-law, Hiram Garcia. So Or I'm sorry, Jaime Garcia is not his brother-in-law, but he co-founded it with his brother-in-law, and then the producing partner is Jaime Garcia. So they were saying, you know, you made it about you, and this is in reference to a spin-off that they were wanting to do about Johnson's character Hobbs on the show. And Tyrese actually wrote out about that too and said, if you move forward with that hashtag Hobbs movie, you will have purposefully ignored the heart-to-heart moment we had in my Sprinter. I don't want to hear from you until you remember what we talked about. I'm on your timeline because you're not responding to my text messages. Hashtag fast family is just that, a family. We don't fly solo. So he was saying that he got all frustrated because it was announced that the next Fast and Furious film, the 9th film, was supposed to be coming out on April 9th, 2019. Well, it was just announced that it's been moved a year later to April 10th, 2020. So a whole year later now, this next Fast movie is coming out. And so obviously that angers him. And it's been said that that's because of this spinoff that Seven Bucks Production is supposed to be producing with Dwayne as the star. So that's what was frustrating him, and he's mad. And so far, I haven't seen Johnson reply to it. If he does, of course, that will be mentioned next week. But a lot of drama going down, and it is really sad. And but I think a lot of times in this industry, people have to be selfish because so many other people are, and it's hard to trust people. But if it is hashtag fast family, like he says, and these are people that he should be able to trust, then, you know, why screw them out of something because you do want to release something? Or why push it, you know? I get where Tyrese is coming from, and I can see how that can be really frustrating. So if anything else comes of that, we'll, of course, talk about it next week. So looking forward, there's a new show coming on Freeform called Siren. It's supposed to premiere next March, and it's about mermaids. So you can look up the trailer online. I liked it on my Twitter, so you can go look at it there. And it's about mermaids, so I'm really excited about it. The trailer shows this girl, she washes up in a boat, she walks into the city, and it's saying the city is home of, like, the Mermaid Festival, and there's this one lady, and she's out on the street corner asking people to come in and saying, we have the real mermaid antiques with the real mermaid items, come in here to see them and buy them. Well, they look at each other, and the seller just seems, like, completely shocked, as if she knows that this girl is a mermaid or what. Not 100% sure, but that's basically how the trailer is. And it looks great. I love anything about mermaids, but it looks like it's going to be kind of a darker feature about mermaids. So we have that to look forward to. And also, the Justice League trailer just dropped. Justice League is coming out November 17th, 2017. Of course, it has Ben Affleck as Batman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. In the trailer, you get to see Amy Adams as Lois Lane with, of course, Superman. So you get to see all these awesome characters again, and now we've got Cyborg and Flash and Aquaman, and Aquaman's, like, wife. So you get to see all these awesome superheroes now coming in and being a part of the DC universe. So I'm super excited about it. There's 2 trailers currently out that I've seen so far, so go find them, go check them out. I have them on my Twitter, of course. So November 17th this year is coming out, so you have that to look forward to as well. So, of course, I think we all have our moments where we're super salty, and I know that I had them more often than not. But this week has got me salty about Jared Leto playing Hugh Hefner in a new biopic coming up. So it's not that he's playing it, it's just that anybody's playing it. Hugh Hefner just gives me the creeps, and I know he passed away recently, so I'm not going to be disrespectful, but he does. He gives me the creeps, and I think it's okay for me to at least say that. The whole situation with Playboy bunnies and all of that, it just seems ridiculous. And objectifying women. I mean, it just bothers me. And I think it's just right that Jared Leto plays him. Because I was really for Jared Leto, and then I saw him on the VMAs, and he just seemed smug and arrogant, and I couldn't stand it. And so I just kind of feel like, of course he's playing him. I don't know. But it just makes me salty. The whole thing just makes me salty. Jared Leto, Hugh Hefner, all of it. It's just, ugh. So, but moving on, because I don't want to end on a negative note, my peachy moment from this week is an article talking about author Dan Brown saying that his crush is J.K. Rowling. So it was this article, and he wasn't saying, like, relationship crush, but, like, another author crush, like a woman crush, that kind of thing. Dan Brown is he's my personal favorite author. He, of course, authored the book Da Vinci Code that was later turned into a movie, Angels and Demons, which is my favorite book, and that was turned into a movie. Well, he has a new book out right now called Origin, and that's really exciting. It takes place in Spain, and of course it has Robert Langford, like always, and it's about, obviously, science and the origins of human and symbols and religion, all of that fun stuff that makes up all the great Dan Brown movies and books, and the conspiracy theories is all there. It's packed. I'm excited to read it. But because of that, Dan Brown was being interviewed, and he said that his other author crush is J.K. Rowling, which is exciting because, of course, J.K. Rowling is amazing. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. But thanks for listening, you guys. This is the end of the show. I want you guys to all follow me on Twitter at Robin_McIntyre. I'm always posting all of these stories. I post other stories that I don't talk about. I'm constantly retweeting and liking stories that Entertainment Weekly posts, that e-posts, because it's pop culture and I love it. So I want you guys to go follow me. You can check it out. Any suggestions that you have, please send me if you want me to talk about certain shows. I haven't been talking a lot about shows because they're all just kind of gearing up and premiering, but I'm excited. Next week, we're going to talk about Riverdale. We're going to talk about Don't Be Tardy for the Party. We're going to talk about so much more because this week hasn't even happened yet, so who knows. But I hope you guys join me at 7 next week on the Unmute app. Thanks for tuning in.